Are you an internet firearms expert or a keyboard commando? Then please get the hell out. If you're serious about talking everything gun culture, then get ready. Load up that clip with those shells and put them into that fully semi-automatic assault rifle with the shoulder attachment thingy. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast live. What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast live. This is episode 98, just 2 short weeks away from 100. Who would have thunk that we would have had this many shows? They haven't kicked us off yet, but you know what? The night is still young. So I want to give a quick disclaimer with the crew that I've got rolling with me tonight. If you see a barrage of affiliate links out there, it is what it is. Click them if you like. Don't click them, but they're going to spam the hell out of the chat tonight. Just kidding. I'm not kidding, baby. I don't know. they very well could. But tonight we are live as always on YouTube and simulcasting as always over at GunChannels.com. And as always, if you aren't familiar with GunChannels.com, then crawl out from under the rock in which you live. Come join us. The water is warm. We don't bite. We nibble, but we don't bite. I've put a link over there to Gun Channels. It is a great, probably the best pro 2A, pro gun community on the internet. It started by G-Webs going on 6 years ago. So if you're new to the firearms community and culture and you have questions about different things, there's always someone over there that could probably help you with some questions. There's a lobby chat going on most time, 24/7. If you're new to the creator side of things and you're looking for help with that, a lot of the creators that you watch, we're all over there as well. So come check us out. As far as the gun channels over there, you got DTPs over there in the pants. On the YouTube side, welcome everybody. If you're new to the channel, new to the show, welcome. We hope we don't scare you away. We hope that you might learn something and get something out of this and come back. But if you're out there, go ahead and say hello. We don't know that you're out there until you say something in the chat. So let's go run through and say hi while we wait for the notifications to go out. Let's see who's out there. We got Gun Loving Grandpa. What's up, Buck? We got the tactical. Well, we can't even call him a tactical pickle because that's Calaveras, but we'll just call him Pickle. We got Gherkin out there, and anybody that knows Gherkin knows that he's a real serious guy, not very good sense of humor. So just kind of bear with us on this one. You got the Reverend Skip Boyer. What's up, Rev? Toby's out there, and Budget Guns and Gear, Midnight Range TM. I mean, they're like pancakes is in here. We let anybody in here, I guess. Let's see your DTPs over here. The Tactical Reaper. What's up, Grim? Haven't seen Grim in a while. That guy's wife Media's out there. The Gun Cleaners. What up, Rod? How you doing, Rod and Shelly? Sandhill Shooters. JJ's out there. Texas Blades. Let's see here. Blue Steel's out there. TJ's out there. GearReport.com is out there. And like I said, we're going to have a fun night tonight. I'm hoping the notifications go out. Some people said they didn't get the 30 minutes. Some people did. So it is what it is. But tonight we've got a couple fun guests we'll talk to in just a second. But before we do that, let's say hello to our other panelists. We've got from Ohio, we've got Budget Guns and Gear. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. How's it going, Ghost? Thanks for the invite, brother.
Yeah, man. Did you get your Taco Hell tonight?
Yes, I did. Well, I didn't get Taco Bell. The wife did. I ended up with some chicken from KFC because, yeah, tacos don't agree with me too much.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And from Arizona, we've got the Godfather himself. What's up, G?
Hey, thanks for the invite.
You got it. And from Texas, we got the Tactical Virus. Leprechaun Clover Tack. What's up, bud?
Got a feeling this is going to go south real quick.
It went south before we even clicked the live button.
Yeah.
You guys in the pre-chat. It's been bad for half an hour. And our special guest tonight from GearReport.com, we got Jeff and Toby. What's going on, guys?
Oh, you are, dude.
I know that. With your camera quality right there, I've seen better pictures of Sasquatch, just saying.
Dude, did you see? I've been spending the last 3 minutes trying to figure out which is my better side. I like them both, honestly. Look at this. A or B? A?
The way the sunlight's coming in, you kind of look like Two-Face. If you just look straight on, you kind of look like the Batman villain there. You got a coin you can flip for us? Maybe that'll...
Pretty accurate description.
I was thinking kind of looks more like a struck match, but either way, scary no matter what you say.
Wow. Like I said, guys, this is going to be a fun one, regardless of the quality of content tonight. I can't guarantee anything, but this will be a fun one. No, we all know each other, and we work together and all of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about what Gear Report is and what they're doing and all that. And I know that Clover and myself and Budget, and I think G might have even done some work, but we all kind of work together. We all do some stuff for Gear Report and all that. And Jeff and Toby and JJ's out there and Gherkin and all the guys at Gear Report are just amazing. So let's kind of bring Jeff in real quick and just kind of give an overview for people that may not be know what gearreport.com is. Please kind of give us a little background real quick.
You think there are people who don't know?
I don't know, but let's just take a wild gander at it.
Okay. All right. Well, first and foremost, get out from under your rock, like now. Yeah, everyone should know. No, Gear Report, geez, for 10 years, Gear Report has been the place to get, it's really cryptic, okay? Reports on gear. So that gear initially, okay, little trivia here, it started as Jeff's kayak reviews, right? And I found that a little limiting, so we changed it to Gear Report, and we do camping stuff. That is Pickle's area of expertise, since everyone seems to know Pickle. And then we do firearms reviews, and Toby is one of the more productive writers and videographers and all of that in that area. And military vehicle stuff seems to be what I'm heading up lately. So yeah, all things fun outside. We're doing a little bit more water sports stuff and sailing reviews. And, I have ADD, so whatever catches my interest, that's what I review.
Now, that's not the story I heard. The story I heard that was because kayak is spelled the same way forwards that it is backwards, it was freaking you out and you had to change the name.
Well, more importantly, he was
yeah.
at kayak.com with affiliate links, and people were trying to get affiliate links while they're getting their Travelocity stuff done too. So now we're going to have a fight out here. We're going to have a fight because Calaveras has shown up. Now it's the battle of the pickles. So this ought to be fun to go with. Just saying. So we have the Calaveras is known as the tactical pickle, and we have Pickle out there. So yeah. Now Toby, like he said, you kind of are doing the firearms. That's kind of what I do when I do stuff for Gear Report, is do firearm stuff. So how long have you been with Gear Report, and what's kind of one of the funnest things that you've reviewed?
So I've actually only been on board with GearReport.com for about a year and 2 or 3 months. So not long, like 14 months.
But it feels like forever.
Oh my God. Seriously. Never a truer word has been spoken when you're laying on a cot in the middle of the floor in a hotel with, so.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Amen, bro. Amen.
That's right.
The probably the funnest thing I have had to review, gosh, I enjoy them all because they're all guns. I mean, what's not to love about the doggone guns? I would say probably, as odd as it may sound, has been the Inner Ordnance XP and XB shotguns, because they're giving me the chance to not only shoot a bunch of really fun shotguns and play with them, but they're giving me kind of a ground level access to the manufacturer to be able to talk to them about ideas and issues I'm seeing. It's given me the ability to dig in and play and take things apart and do like some backyard shade tree mechanic gunsmithing work on them. It's given me just kind of a little something more to dig into. So those have been really fun, actually.
Yeah, Uli's a great guy, and yeah, he's really really kind of, I think he's jumped into bed with Gear Report. I think hopefully it's helped him out a little bit. Now I know that all of us here, and like I said, I think she has, but I'm pretty sure he has. But I know that myself and Budget and Clover have done work, and I want to bring in Budget real quick. And how did you kind of get hooked up with Jeff and Gear Report? How'd that happen?
Well, I saw that you guys had done an article or two over there, and I read it, and I looked up at the top of the page on the website, and I saw this little sentence that said "Write for Gear Report." So I'm like, well, hell, I can write. This is kind of what I do, you know. I obviously with my channel, I kind of tend to focus on the high value stuff, but you know, I kind of suffer from the same ADD as Jeff does in that I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of the other thing too. So I submitted an article that I wrote on, I think it was the SSP eyewear, top focal shooting glasses, and said, hey, I want to write for you guys. And as they say, the rest is history.
Now, Jeff, I want to bring you in real quick. And were you a little nervous that there could be a battle of the gear review guys and collaborating together? Was that going to break the matrix maybe?
I'm not scared of anything. Hold on. My wife's not here, is she?
Not many people know this, but Jeff is actually Mr. Smith, so he controls the matrix. It's all cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard a rumor about that earlier today. That's kind of interesting. That would come up again, or yesterday or something.
Oh Lord. Clover, what about you? How did you?
I got to be honest with you though, and I'm going to give G some credit here because he kind of picked up on something and inspired me to run with it a little bit more a year or two ago at SHOT Show. The whole idea of using Gear Report as a platform to help other content creators get more exposure. It's really a symbiotic thing where, you know, as the guy behind Gear Report, anyone who's writing and contributing, it's great bringing traffic to the site. You know, it's making the Gear Report site more valuable so people will come back to it more often. So I'm all for that. And then it's helping the people who are writing as well to get, you know, additional exposure and work on a different platform with different rules and, you know, really broaden your horizons. And I think everyone in here but G has gotten some stuff through Gear Report to review as well. So it's, you know, using the resources that I've developed and nurtured over the years to help get gear in the hands of other people as well. So it's really worked out well. And yeah, I was a little scared at starting that because Gear Report was my baby alone for the first 5 years. And it's just been a few years that I've really opened it up. I gradually opened it to a few people like 4 or 5 years ago, but it was like 2-3 years ago that I started allowing additional people in, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
You know, except for marry my wife and everything, in case she's watching.
Yeah, in case she's watching. Good
Yeah,
job.
who am I kidding? She doesn't watch my stuff.
She doesn't. Mine either. No, and for me, I think I'll kind of reiterate what you just said. I think it's great, and I've been excited. I think it's been, I don't know, about a year maybe since I put my first article out for you guys, and the great thing about it is it's not like Jeff says, hey, I need something from you, this and all that. He's not cracking the whip and understanding that there are things that I'm going to review, and if I do a review on something, I typically will do up an article, which I love to write, and this has allowed me to kind of come back and not just have the video side, but able to maybe bring the video into the writing and kind of collaborate on both genres of the media. And I enjoy it a lot. It's like I said, it's some of those things that the collaboration between where you can link, you know, especially with, let's take Inner Ordnance right now, when a lot of us got some stuff from Inner Ordnance to review and able to like read someone's article, but then click over and be able to find Toby's or be able to find JJ's or be able to find, you know, different people's articles on different IO stuff or whatever. But it's great because I guess the freedom it has allowed me to have is I enjoy writing, and that has allowed me to kind of get back into writing. Chris, Clover, I want to bring you in real quick and you know, how did you kind of get hooked up with your report and kind of what is your take of it so far?
My story is your story, actually. We were wandering around SHOT Show and we're in the wrong place at the wrong time, basically, and these dudes showed up and got to talking with them, and yeah, like Budget said, the rest is history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of them things. I don't know, you or maybe Jeff remember the actual details behind the story, but I've slept since then, so I don't remember the particular details. It's just one of them things where you're at a trade show and you get to talking with people, and one thing leads to another. You know, as far as me, I mean, I don't take the time to write as much as I probably should, and a lot of that is has to do with focus. You know, I really shifted focus and moved into the industry activism, community interviews, and then of course the youth shows and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know, there's really not a lot that spins off of that, like testing and evaluation, to be able to write those reviews. So that's one thing though that I have thought about. Obviously, I'm facing internet issues, which cuts into my time a lot, and that's actually one of the things that once the internet burden is off of me a little bit and frees up a little of my time, then I'm not sitting there with my internet tied up, and I can actually use it for something productive. Doing some more stuff for Gear Report definitely is the way to go. I like the platform, and I like the way Jeff and the guys, man, they kind of make it so easy. If you're already a creator, because you've already done these testing, you already put the stuff through these paces, you already know the specs, you already know all of this stuff, and it's they've got a model there where you just take what you've already done and you plug it in with words instead of video, and then on top of that, like you mentioned at the top of the show, the affiliate links and all of this other stuff. With that platform, you have the unbridled freedom, right? To put those links in, whereas other places you may or may not be able to. They may be against the policy, whatever. But their Gear Report, it's not only welcomed, it's encouraged.
Yeah. Now, G, you've been around for a long time, and you kind of started doing reviews before reviews were a thing, and Gear Report's been out since 2009. From when your time was starting doing reviews on the video side, what has the evolution? Have you seen people, they're still very conscious of the written reviews still, or is that something that, with the video and all that, how big is the written review still, do you think?
That's a good question. Can't say I have any kind of grasp on everything everybody's doing out there for sure. But written reviews certainly lend themselves to be archived more than a video. You'd have to watch 15 minutes of video to figure out what it is about the weight of a tent pole or something like that. You can skim a written review for that kind of stuff. You guys have like a format, right? So people get used to that format. They can get the data they're looking for. Videos, if you're lucky, have playlists and stuff. So I mean, I have no idea what people do, but I can see the use of a written archive for something like this.
Yeah. Jeff, now I want to kind of bring you back in real quick. And since 2009 to now, from your side of things, have you noticed that has there been a shift in what people are utilizing as reviews? Is it stay the same, or has it gotten bigger or smaller? What is your side of that?
Yeah, good question. Early on, as a young site, I mean, everyone here's a creator, so you know what it's like to start from scratch. Starting from scratch on a social media platform, you can kind of like what Clover was saying about working with Gear Report. You can use the platform that's already there and focus on your creating. Unfortunately, I was building a platform, and I got into the weeds of that, and it really slowed the growth down. So when I look at data over time, it's hard to really pull any real conclusions out of it, because the platform was so small, our reach was so small early on, that it's hard to say. I can tell you that, because I work in the online marketing and e-commerce and affiliate industry, Gear Report converts really well for the amount of traffic that we're driving. For the traffic we're driving about 10 times the influence of most sites that have this amount of traffic, at least 10, maybe more. So I think there's something about the formula that's resonating with people, and bringing them back, and allowing them to get value out of the content so that they, so they see value in it. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles here, but we've seen things like, I think I'm trying to think, what have I seen the data? I'll tell you something that I'm looking at budgets icon here at the bottom and looking at the reporting lately. He wrote an article on some sort of gun that I'd never even heard of before. And it's been the top traffic producing article on Gear Report for the last month. The number 2 article is a budget backpacking gear list that probably, you want to talk about affiliate links? That thing probably got 250 affiliate links in it, because it's a list of all the different backpacking gear you could want, and then different options. Here are 8 different backpacks depending on what you're doing. That type of article for me has been the most successful, because it has so much that it offers the reader. But then the other thing I'm finding is kind of odd things. That review that Budget wrote, there may not be another one for that gun on the internet. There's very few of them. So in terms of search ranking and getting organic traffic, it's really ranking well. I'm going to venture a guess that there's a pretty I was going to say something nice about Budget, but he said be right back. So he's not even here to hear it, so I'm not going to say it.
I just got back. Say as many nice things as you want.
Oh, he's back. Yeah, I was going to say, there may be some decent writing behind the article as well. I don't know, but so something I've been thinking a lot about when I look back at SHOT Show, and I think, oh my goodness, we're over halfway to the next SHOT Show already. And something, I see Toby shaking his head, because we talked about this a couple months ago, that we got to book things and plan earlier this year. We can't wait till mid-January to start booking stuff. We got to do that earlier. And I think part of the strategy for going to a show like that is, who do you want to talk to? And for a while, Gear Report kind of got into the kind of industry momentum and hit all the highlight stuff. We'd ask people before we go, what do you want to hear about? And then we'd go report. And it's all the same big products that everyone already knows about it, because everyone's reporting on it. So I think what I'm seeing is more, not that mainstream same thing everyone else is covering, that I want to focus more on the fringes. I think the IO stuff is a great example there as well.
There was a question out there from Mad Sexy that either you or Toby can answer, but maybe both of you have different ideas of what you would like to see. But Mad Sexy out there says, what would you like to see out of the platform? I'm assuming, like, moving forward, what's your vision for yourreport.com?
Money. That's what I'd like to see out of it.
Yeah, there you
go. So
Toby, yeah, go ahead.
I will echo that. However, I will throw another caveat out of there. What I would like to see coming out of Gear Report, coming in from now until after the next SHOT Show, basically is my goal for the next year. So the last year, not to get too in the weeds and not to talk too long, but quick version. I used to do content and reviews and put out YouTube videos on my channel, which is why the channel's titled with my name instead of Mining Ridge Armory. I shut that down, deleted a majority of the videos, and went away from it. I was blessed with the opportunity to work with GearReport.com and do some articles and reviews, and kind of re-bring up that skill and start pushing all that out there. So for the next year, what my focus for GearReport.com is, anything I do from a review perspective, anything like that in that business is going to be pushed 150% through GearReport.com. But I'm also going to try to mesh the two with my Mining Ridge Armory side business, which is an instructional and FFL with a key focus on training and technology and that kind of thing. And I'm going to start trying to push the two to each other to where there's no money generated per se that would have been taken away from Gear Report by doing those training videos. But at the same time, that then pushes money towards my side business. So that's kind of my plan.
And let me elaborate on what I said, because money's important. It allows Gear Report to keep going, because every year for the past 5 years, I've had multiple times in the year where I've said, screw it, I quit, and someone has talked me off the ledge. and money is behind that usually. So it takes a lot of money to do a real review site and do real reviews. A lot of time, a lot of effort, investment in equipment, as well as consumables, as well as products, because we can't get everything given to us. So the money is really a means to continue, but also if I'm going to keep putting this much time in, it'd be good to make a little bit to feed the kids as well. But to what Toby was saying, what I see for the platform is continuing what we've done the last couple of years of opening up to new content creators and expanding to different categories, different types of content. So, I started doing camping gear and I did a little bit of that, and I did kayaks and started doing hunting and gun stuff, started doing military vehicles. That's where things are sitting today. But, we got a writer, Jacob, I think he's out west somewhere, that does primarily knives. I got a knife in my pocket right now. I carry knives all the time, but I don't know what type of steel's best, or any of the design features. Can I stab people? Yeah, I'm happy. That's all I really need. I mean, can I cut things and use it as a tool? But I have a knife writer. I've been working with a guy in Greece, a British guy in Greece that is a big Hobie cat sailor, because I've been helping the Sea Scouts with their Hobie cats, and I think we're about to do a collaboration and share some of his content on the site. So I'm really looking for different niches that we can expand to and give more writers, more content creators a platform to help make them successful too.
Well, and this is the thing that I was getting ready to go into, and this is the beautiful thing about Gear Report. It's not just firearms. Actually, firearms might be one of the smallest departments of Gear Report, which is great because it's allowing people to kind of get, like you said, hunting, outdoor, hiking, military vehicles, water sports, everything that you could possibly, if you're an outdoors person and you like spending time in the sun and not inside the house, whatever, Gear Report's the place you want to go, because if you're looking to go and get a compass or you're going to get whatever, there's reviews out there. And what I love about it is also, like you said, the military vehicles. This is something that I honestly didn't know was a thing, to be honest with you. I knew that there were military vehicles that were out and decommissioned and out for public sale and all that, but I didn't realize it was this big thing that you were, this past weekend, you were, I think, somewhere, and you were posting pictures of military vehicles. So this is a whole thing that I was exposed to basically through gearreport.com, and that's kind of cool. Can you kind of explain the military vehicle side of things? Because that fascinates me.
Yeah, so they're like big toys, I always thought they were cool. So I was in from 90, 91 to 97, something like that. So it was in the Humvee era, and that's really early in the Humvee era. And that they always caught my eye, but I was in the Air Force and I was on a cargo plane. So I loaded them in the back of the plane sometimes, pushed them out, sometimes on the ground, sometimes in the air. But I'd never even sat in one. And I always thought they were awesome. So the Marine Corps auctioned some in the mid to late 90s. Pissed a lot of people off when they did it. So, go Marine Corps. And 125 or so. That's it. That's all that was in the wild. And then Schwarzenegger came along and said he wanted one, and they started making the civilian version, which is, same base vehicle, but with actual creature comforts built in. So, but it's not the same thing. So that was the gateway drug for me, was the Humvee. I saw one of those clickbait ads, articles, or you can get a Humvee for $2,000, and a friend told me, no, I know some. I was telling him I needed a field vehicle for Gear Report. We were spending a lot of time at the shooting range, and also I needed a hunting truck. I needed something to take camping with the scouts. And a friend said, I was looking for a Jeep Cherokee, and he said, dude, I know a guy who's got a bunch of Humvees. He's selling them for like $5,000. You ought to get one of those. Well, guess what? That was a crock of crap. It was not $5,000, but I ended up becoming obsessed with it and got one. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
Realistically, what's it cost to go grab a Humvee then that you can drive?
To get a decent one, plan on spending. If you go through the auction and roll the dice.
No. Go off of Craigslist, get one that's already good to go. Just buy it.
A first generation Humvee, probably in the, for a good one, 14, 15 grand. And that's what I had first, was a first generation. That one had been with the 82nd Airborne.
And that's like authentic, not like dolled up or anything. That's just like ready to
strip.
go to every reenactment or something. Or
nothing. Yeah, no creature comforts, nothing. It's like barely insulation. They're loud. They're crazy loud. And the first gen trucks top out at about 57 miles an hour.
I never got this, but yeah.
Yeah, so the one I have now is a third generation truck, and it was a Marine Corps truck. And it's got the hard top with they call it a slant back. The kind of cool looking slanted hatchback.
And the communications Humvee that we used.
Yeah. So mine was a tow missile carrier. But when they sell them at auction, they strip all the fun stuff out. So the only thing they left me were two little M16 clips in the front. And I'm not misnaming magazines. I mean the clips that you put the barrel in to hold it vertically. They took the whole turret assembly out, everything. But if you know the right people, you can track down turret assembly. So I have a full turret assembly and chicken shield and machine gun mounts. And if we circle back to what an armed citizen needs, I have a full turret on the top of my truck, and I am on an FFL and SOT. And while I don't have a machine gun yet, I have 2 Form 2s that I'm waiting on for machine guns. So, to do post samples.
The thing that you could do for the time being is, for some of these parades, you get like a fully automatic super soaker attached and just have a really good time during a parade. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that could be interesting. I hadn't tried that. I have an airsoft M249 that I put up there for shows and parades and stuff. But it looks a little too real. If I start, pulling the trigger on that, people may wonder.
Yeah. I want to bring in Budget or Clover or G real quick before we move on to another topic. Do you guys have anything you want to bring up or ask or anything right now?
I'm good.
Okay.
After watching the data for a while, has anything surprised you? Something that you would have thought somebody brought in that would have never gone anywhere, but it turned out to be really interesting or useful?
You mean like the site traffic data? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah, as far as different reviews coming in when you open it up to multiple people, I'm sure you're going to get stuff that you wouldn't have sought out, stuff that people are bringing to you. And of all that stuff, was there anything that you're like, oh, this will never fly? And then, wow, it really took off.
Everything that I submit. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
So he said stuff that was successful.
Yeah. No. I heard him say this will never work, so I thought it was me. So.
No, the one I mentioned earlier, where Budget, what was his second or third review of a gun I'd never even heard of.
Gotta be talking about Nextar EP9.
Yeah, that one. Because that's the only time I've ever seen a review on it. And still the only place I've ever heard of it. So yeah, that one has surpassed every other article on the site in the last month. Has been a little surprising to me, but yeah, it really goes back to high quality writing, I guess.
Could be. All right, so I want to bring Toby in real quick, and I'm going to bring Jeff in as well, but I want to bring Toby in, and as far as the firearm stuff right now, and you guys had alluded to the preparation for trade shows, SHOT Show, NRA, USCCA, the Great Outdoors Show. How far in advance, or what is the process for the leadership team, if you want to call that, of Gear Report, that are going to be kind of doing the stuff at SHOT Show? How far in advance do you guys start, and what's that process like to the lead up to SHOT Show?
So don't task Selenia with doing it. Just throwing that out there for you, bro. Kidding. So we, as Jeff just mentioned, we actually are already starting to discuss and kind of lay the groundwork for definitely for IB 88, but then we're also starting to lay the groundwork for the SHOT Show for 2020. Previously, what we did for some of the shows is we do try to line up, sleeping arrangements first and travel arrangements first. Then about 4 to 6 weeks out, we start having about a once every week or once every 2 weeks video conference call with all the attendees. And we start kind of going through and spitballing all the ideas of, does it make sense to do this? What's going on in the industry right now? What are some of the trends on YouTube? What are the goals for Gear Report? What are the projects that you're wanting to do this year? What do you want? Is there something in specific that, like for example, with Pickle, hey, is there some type of lightweight camping gear that you're wanting for this trek that you're getting ready to come on for Sea to Summit or whatever? And we start just kind of trying to flesh out a game plan. There's a master spreadsheet that we keep in the background that has all of the different contact information, all the address, all the relevant vendors that we've made contact with either at prior shows or leading up to the individual shows, and what the notes are so that we don't step on each other's toes. Because since there's several of us wearing the same T-shirt, we don't want to step on each other's toes. There's quite a bit of preparation that goes into it. And I'm talking like countless hours upon hours upon hours. And then when we get there at 8 a.m. on the very first day of the show, we crumple that shit up and throw it in the trash every time. Yeah, just as it goes. Right. Every time. Weeks and months of my life just thrown in the trash. It's awesome.
It was interesting this past year because I know that you had some new faces at SHOT Show this year as far as the Gear Report team and all that. So, every year if there's a new person that's going to be covering SHOT Show for Gear Report, I'll bring Jeff in on this one. How do you explain that to them? How do you explain what their marching orders for someone, especially if they've never been a SHOT Show before in general, but to tell them that, hey, your job is to go get this? Do you spread out jobs? Say, hey, you're just doing nothing but B-roll. You're doing nothing but interviews. You're doing nothing but swag, or what? How do you kind of give everybody marching orders?
Toby really spoke to that, and it really does start with, I was joking in the chat that I'm a dictator, and to some degree I am, but hold on, I've been passed a note. Can I ride with someone else? Yes, you may.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm parenting while doing a live podcast. Yeah.
You're multi. I love it.
Yeah. So I hope I just gave him permission to ride with someone who's a good driver. Yeah. So anyhow, what was I saying? Yeah. So we go in with some ideas of TJ, for example. We saw TJ early in the chat check in. Right. TJ is the utility guy. He shows up and I'm like, dude, what do you want to look at? Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to do? And he says, dude, I don't care. I'm just here to help. So yeah, TJ gets a lot of B-roll work. He gets a lot of here. Hold the camera, point the camera at people, because he doesn't have a list of brands he's looking to talk to. Toby's going to come in with a list of brands he wants to talk to as Mining Ridge Armory, as an FFL for his retail purposes, and he's got a list he wants to talk to as review prospects. So it's different discussions. For a new person coming in, I point them to my 26-page spreadsheet that has pages with, here's everything you need to know about working the show floor. Here's everything you need to know about being at range day. Do they read it, Toby? No, they don't.
Wait, so
everything they need to know is there.
I fell asleep on page 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah. To be fair, I did read some of the points in the spreadsheet, but that forum thing, that's got words, like lots of words.
Yeah,
it does.
Words.
Lots of words.
I can tell you, from my point of view as a SHOT Show and all of that, obviously I'm there for Ghost Tactical Productions, but I was also there as trying to help out with Gear Report. And it's nice to meet up with them at least 2 or 3 times a day. Basically, we knew in the mornings before the doors open, we were all going to kind of meet in the media room and all of that and kind of go over what we did. And it was nice to see throughout the day, Jeff, TJ, and Kellyanne was in there. Then me and Clover, and there's always someone there to kind of just have a good time and joke around and say, "Hey, they're out there." But I will say this, and Clover kind of brought it up. You guys absolutely were just kicking ass this year at SHOT Show, and I want to bring Clover in real quick and talk about SHOT Show in particular. When you're going in as Clover Tech Productions, but you're also got the other hat on as Gear Report. Do you mix those two, or do you go about them differently in your preparations for companies, or how do you do that?
No, I don't. For me, Gear Report is just it's a dynamic or an extension. So, when I'm talking with a company, I pitch my diversity. I pitch the fact that all my eggs are not in one basket. I'm not, all in this on this one platform that somebody can flip a switch and then, you've sent me a product or paid me or whatever the case may be, and then now that's completely worthless. That it's diversified across everything. And then again, the big perk with Gear Report is the freedom, the liberty of those affiliate links, and and it really is, it's unchained. You don't have to really worry about it. But the cool thing, I mean, to hit on this past SHOT Show, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The guys, the Gear Report guys, were killing it for sure. But one of the things with being involved with Gear Report and the type of guys that they are and SHOT Show and all that is that adds 3, 4, 5, whatever more people that you run into in the hallways, you run into in the media room, you run into on the floor, and it's fist bump and joke around, and it's a morale booster, and it's just camaraderie inside our little niche. And I think that is kind of like the rising, whatever the rising tide raise all ships or whatever the thing is. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a benefit to everybody.
Now, I spent the entire week of SHOT Show basically hiding from Jeff because Jeff had one mission, and that was to steal my very last Ghost Tactical patch off my backpack. And he succeeded several times, but he never made it very far. But no, I really enjoy it. And I want to bring Budget in real quick. And, Budget, you go to a lot of different shows, USCC and all that. I want to ask you the same question with Clover. When you're going into these trade shows or whatever, do you have in the back of your mind something that you want to look at specifically for Gear Report? Say, you know what, this might not be like the coolest video, but it'd be a great written review. Do you ever think about that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I pretty much approach it the same way Clover does, as an extension to the projects I'm working on already. It's again, just like Clover said, it's about the diversifying of the platform and the a little bit of extended reach, so that if there might be a brand I'm talking with that, like for instance, Franklin Armory, when I did that the interview with them at NRA about the not the Reformation, but the Providence, I think, is that the new digital action firearm they have. It may not necessarily be something that's appropriate for budget guns and gear reviews, but it's something that would definitely be appropriate for Gear Report. And I brought that up to them, that hey, I do some writing for Gear Report too, so this might be a good fit there. And it's just it's an extension of what I'm already doing.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I'm getting ready to do some side work on another project and collaborating with a concealed carry company that has a website, magazine, and stuff like that, and all of that. And one of the reasons why they want me to do some work for them, doing some articles, was because of my experience with Gear Report. And they liked, when they asked if I'd be interested in all that, I said, sure. They said, well, what kind of platforms and what kind of genres would you be interested in working with us? And I said, I can, do podcasting, I could do video, and I can do written reviews. They said, oh, written reviews. And I said, yeah, I do some work for gearreport.com. And that kind of, I think, concrete and cemented the idea that that's not something that people put on a resume per se, or on something that people are talking about it. And I think that's me and Clover and Budget are all very proud to say that we work with gearreport.com, and having the ability to write still, even though this is very much a visual society these days. I think the ability to write and put your thoughts on paper, because people still out there like to read, is very valuable. So that's been kind of cool for me. I want to bring G in real quick and just ask G, do you have anything you want to bring up or ask real quick? I kind of feel like I've kind of kept you in the corner this time. I'm sorry about that.
As long as I get paid the same, I'm okay.
The pay, you know, I'm the checks in the mail. I'm going to ask you not to cash it for a little while, but the check in the mail. Clover, I know you wanted to bring something in, so I want to bring you back in real quick, and at least had something to add, maybe.
Yeah, I just want to add something to what you were saying when you were talking about it being a visual world or whatever, and that's one of the awesome things about the flow and the format there on Gear Report is, we can throw those, photos we've done for Instagram. We can throw those videos in there. We can incorporate those other medium ideas so that if somebody's out there and they catch Gear Report through an SEO, and maybe they are a video minded person, then, that they can watch that video. It's embedded. It's there, and then maybe that prompts them to actually read some of that, click on the affiliate link, so forth and so on.
Yeah, and I want to bring Jeff and Toby back in and ask, you brought Clover and Budget and myself on to the team and all of that, and I'm assuming that you're always looking to possibly expand your repertoire of writers that are contributing to gearreport.com. So if
I
someone
refer to it as my harem.
Oh, well, there you go. Right. So if there is someone out there thinking about, say, hey, that sounds kind of fun, what are some of the prerequisites? I mean, what can they do to, I know there's a link up there, that Budget click, but I mean, what kind of experience are you looking for before they decide to come on and try to write for you?
It's mostly about paying Jeff money.
I was going to let him say that. Yeah, bring a check with you and you're good to go, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I probably get on average 10 inquiries a month from that pick me at gearreport.com address that is tied to the link that Budget clicked. And honestly, most of them, if I read the note and it says, and I literally see this quite often, I've read your format, some of your articles, I know exactly what you want. Like, oh no, I don't know exactly what I want. If you think you know exactly what I want, you probably don't. So, I want to see someone who's real. I want to see someone who, if they have connections in whatever industry they're working in, that's even better. But I want genuine people. I mean, I want someone that if they write something and I read it, I don't second guess it. I take it at face value. So I'm honestly, people turn me off being a little too forward about how good they are sometimes, but I can disregard that and say, you know what, give me an article. Take a product you already have, write an article about it, send it to me. Let's see what the writing looks like. And if it's engaging and seems trustworthy, and it's, not gibberish, then yeah, let's try it.
It was so funny because I remember my first article that I did for you. And I don't remember what it was about, but I remember spending, I spent, like honestly a week touching it up and making it to where I thought this was going to be like, this is the one, he's going to love it. And this is, this is awesome. And I submit it. And then next thing I know, it's like, well, we're going to do this and this and this and editing and this, that, and the other. And next thing I know, I was like, okay, this is so much different than just writing down your thoughts on paper. It's got to be structured in a certain way. And it was nice to know that there was like, hey, you idiot, or there was none of the this is terrible. It was, hey, you got a good base here, but let's try to do this and this. And I thought that was really nice, to where the editors have always, with me at least, have always been very awesome with saying, hey, everything is great except for this. And we're looking maybe if you did this or whatever. And that was nice to know. So I want to ask you guys this: for people that are looking to be writers, is there a specific department or genre or niche within Gear Report that you need writers right away for?
Yeah, absolutely. Firearms. Toby has a specific capacity. Caleb has a specific capacity. I have gotten to where I'm so busy running Gear Report, running my other business, with everything else that honestly, like at SHOT Show, I didn't accept a single firearm for review at SHOT Show personally. Which, 2-3 years prior, that's all I was doing was asking brands, hey, can I review this? And I'm at a point where I like turned away everything. I've accepted, I intentionally accepted one firearm so far this year. It turned into 2. But that's a real M16A1 and then a civilian version of that as well. So I made an exception for that. So firearms, absolutely. We've got years building connections with firearms brands, and don't even talk to most of them now because I don't have anyone to review the stuff. I mean, you notice how many guns went out through Interordnance because they had a bunch of stuff that they wanted reviewed. I sure couldn't do it, so I need capacity on the firearm side. Camping, oh my goodness, we have been trying to get more camping writers for a while. I don't know if Pickle's just running off all the good prospects or what, but but we need camping writers pretty bad because again, we've got a lot of brand contacts in that area that we can't even really follow up with. And what am I going to do if I talk to them? They'll say, hey, well, we need this reviewed. I'm like, yeah, hey, I need a writer to review it. You got one? I just don't have the staff for that. But then also expanding into other areas. All of the areas that we have now, I need more military vehicle writers as well. So you guys need to get with the program. I'll send you the link to the auction. Go buy some cool stuff, and we can do videos and write about it. But expanding into other outdoor gear areas as well, that's fine.
So if I could toss in there, he mentioned about Pickle's a good example of what he was talking about the specific skill set. And what he meant by that was Pickle's the king and guru of everything camping, but his biggest focus and his biggest area of expertise where he knows exact, micro level thread count of whatever is hammocks and hammock camping and that type of outdoor equipment. So not saying he can't review any other kind of outdoor equipment, but that's like his main thing. So when it comes to expanding out, across the breadth of outdoor equipment, a lot of times Jeff will send out emails to the writer base that he feels like may be interested. And I can't tell you how many, like, for example, I have just turned down, example would be he sent out a backpack request to see who wanted to review a backpack. Well, the backpack was a Molly style backpack, and it's not what I do. I do gray man, everyday carry, business casual, Fortune 40 company type look, and and profession. And so it wouldn't have done me any good. It is sat in the closet. And so, he turned it down. And I think that's kind of what he's talking about is a lot of times that kind of thing will happen where you have these companies who say, hey, do you have a guy? And Jeff just has to say, you know what? No, I don't. Because we don't want to just take stuff just to be taking it. We want to make sure that it's at the right home with the right reviewer, right level of expertise, and is going to give it the right attention. So,
and that's true of everything except the crappy rip-off Chinese companies. I get probably 5 of those requests a week. We sell on Amazon. It's always broken Chinglish that I can't even hardly understand. I will take everything they send, and I don't care if a review ever gets done on it. And I hate to say that, and I hope that doesn't reflect poorly on my integrity, but if they are clearly ripping off good American companies of their intellectual property and taking food out of the mouths of the people in this country who are investing and pursuing the American dream the hard way, then you know what? I will happily take their product and take it to the range with me and put holes in it or stack it in the garage or something, you know?
Speaking of which, in affiliate links, Amazon's having, or Olight's having an amazing sale this week.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Isn't that
Olight.
every week though? Like every week.
I think it's every other week. I mean, let's be fair.
Olight are whores.
Now,
Did
Jeff,
I say that out loud on a live podcast?
what? I didn't hear you. What?
Yeah.
I do want to ask you. So I just got a text, and thank you guys for texting. Please do me a favor. If you send me a text, put who you are, so I know. Acknowledge who you are on the chat. They didn't say who they are, but they wanted to know: do you do any reviews of fishing gear? I like watching reviews on fishing gear. So is fishing something that you're? I want to throw a 19th hat on your plate there, Jeff. But fishing is actually a really big part of the outdoors. I didn't know. Is that something that you might be looking into?
So I fish when I'm hungry, and I don't have a better way to get food. Aside from that, I don't fish. So personally, nope. But if anyone wants to review fishing stuff, let me know. I would love to have a whole host of fishing writers and video people, content creators, because like you said, it's a very popular, very active, very engaging. People are passionate about their fishing stuff. And I think that we could provide a lot of value to that community, you know, with the right people in place, you know, doing good work.
Yeah. I thought it's a good question because you know, I'm in Arkansas and I'm right here where the world record brown and U.S. record rainbow trout are on the river here. So fishing's a big deal at the lake and on the river here. So yeah, I didn't know. I never really seen a whole lot of reviews on fishing. So I figured that might be something. Like I said, I don't want to add a 19th dish to your table, but that might be something that'd be interesting because I know that those are pretty passionate people as well. So
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I want to kind of start kind of telling people where they can find you. Obviously, gearreport.com. But Toby, Jeff, do you have anything else in closing before we kind of start doing our goodbyes? Do you have anything else that you want to add or bring up for the people out there that are maybe just learning about gearreport.com?
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the folks that get some credit here. So Toby mentioned his mining ridge armory. Go check that out. If you're looking for retail FFL, if you're looking for training, any of that kind of stuff, he will take care of you. Quarter Horse Arms, if you look them up, that's the FFL that we use here at headquarters, you know, because geographically, I mean, it's something else we hadn't really talked about. Gear Reports started out as it started out as me and then a couple other of my local friends in Central North Carolina. And it's expanded to the point where, you know, Jose Juan, who was like the other half of Gear Report for years, he's still in the area. We still talk. But he hadn't had time to do much writing lately. So I'm literally the only active writer in the area that I live right now. Everyone else is spread out across the country. So Quarter Horse Arms, if anything is coming in for Caleb, the hunting editor, for me, for Alan, who actually owns Quarter Horse Arms, for Jose Juan, if he gets anything, those come through Quarter Horse. And you know, we go do a lot of shooting stuff there as well because they have a little range behind it. So so go check them out as well. But then, you know, that's one of the things that I think is an advantage we have as well, is that we're spread out. So as events come up, as things happen, like when my Form 2 finally clears for the AK, I'm hoping that we can get things worked out so G can go by the factory where they're doing some work on it, you know, and check some stuff out because it's pretty close to him. So I think it's pretty cool how we have a pretty broad geographical reach there as well.
Awesome. Budget, Clover G, before we start talking about our own projects, do you guys have anything else you want to bring up or talk about with Gear Report? Nope. Okay. So what I want to bring Toby in first and say, Toby, what are you? I know you got some personal stuff with your side business and your main business. I think maybe Gear Report might be your side stuff, but what have you got going on? I know you said you're doing some training videos and all that. Tell people where they can find you, not only on Gear Report, but maybe somewhere else they can find you as well.
No problem. I appreciate the opportunity. And by the way, I appreciate the invite and the giving me a voice to be able to kind of put some of this out there. So obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to push anything review related or majorly specific to equipment or firearms related through the gear-report.com site. My author page I just posted a bunch of links out on the YouTube stream there for everybody to check out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start focusing the training and the technology perspective, because I do work in the IT industry, also. And so I do focus a lot on technology. And again, the everyday carry, gray man, those types of concepts. I'm going to start focusing a lot of that instructional material over onto my Mining Ridge Armory YouTube channel and the Mining Ridge Armory Facebook page. And start pushing the media to each other, Gear Report to Mining Ridge and Mining Ridge to Gear Report, so that way it's not a conflict of interest, but yet they're both feeding one another. So I'd really appreciate if you would just keep an eye on the YouTube channel. As we speak, I was finishing up the second of 2 intros and 2 outros for my new video format and 2 lower thirds, so that I've got those templatized to start spitting out some of the instructional videos. I have 2 effectively seasons worth of material as far as training material goes, and individual topics, whether again it's everyday carry in a business casual or business environment, or whether it's just true tactical training and those types of instruction. So I've got 2 seasons worth of material ready, and I'm fleshing out the bullet points and the notes to be able to get on camera. So again, with the templates in place, with the outlines in place, I'm going to start capturing some video hopefully in the next few weeks, and you'll start seeing a bunch of stuff getting posted. Not sure on the schedule yet, like if I'm going to do once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever. And I've got, for Gear Report, I still have 2 firearms reviews pending. Pickle and I are give a little love to Pickle. He's got his articles deserve quite a bit of love too. He's doing a good job. We're collaborating on a Mantis X review and a something else. And then I've got like the LASR software review and a couple other things pending for gearreport.com. So keep an eye out for those. I think that's kind of all that's going on right now. Some personal reviews I'm planning on putting out on personal equipment. Like I plan on doing another video review of my Canik TP9 SF Elite. Since you've done one, I want to do kind of my 2 cents on it too.
Honestly, we should do something together.
We absolutely, I agree. The very first article, interestingly enough, you ask how you get to start and to click the link here and submit an article. Very first written article I submitted to gearreport.com to Jeff was Canik TP9 SF Elite, but I've not done a video since then. So I'm going to use the SFX in the IDPA competition starting 1st of August. So, we'll see how that plays out. But I mean, that's it. I'll quit rambling on. The point is, if you could just, show a little love to the Mining Ridge Armory side of the house and keep an eye on how the 2 will gel in together, and, hopefully it'll grow. And, again, my main focus is just giving good information to people, and hopefully it'll be useful and helpful to somebody. If not, then I'll get a lot of hate on YouTube, as you all know.
Well, you're in good company, so it's all good. I want to bring in Budget real quick, and if you have anything that you want to talk about Gear Report, obviously go for it, but also tell people where they can find you and what projects you have going on right now.
Well, first off, thanks for the invitation. I appreciate it. You can find me here on YouTube as Budget Guns and Gear Reviews. For those who aren't familiar with what I do, I review what I call high value to cost ratio camping, shooting, hunting, outdoors gear. Plus do some Second Amendment advocacy and activism stuff. I also put, I have everything else out that I do out on GunStreamer as well. I also am on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook as Budget Guns and Gear. Kind of my central hub is www.budgetgunsandgear.com. And as you may have guessed from listening to the show tonight, I also write for gearreport.com. I have some stuff coming up soon too. I just recently got a PSA KS-47. That's their AR-15 that takes AK mags. So I gotta trying to get hold of an optic. Once I get that get those wrinkles ironed out, I'll get a review video up, and I'm probably going to do a written article on that one too. So stay tuned.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up that was hilarious, by the way, Clover. That was hilarious. Now I want to bring Jeff in, and Jeff, if you want to talk about your Tinder account, absolutely go for it. You got to do what you got to do, brother. But tell people where they can find you and what projects you might be jumping on for the next few months here.
Hey man, media horse need love too, right?
Yes, they do.
That's the way I see it. Stuff coming up. Let's see. I've got more content on the Battle Wagon 2.0 coming up, so look for that. We did so much to that truck when it came in, and I have done a pretty piss poor job of documenting that the past couple months. Big collaboration with a channel called Joyrider TV. That's the Hobie Cat guy. He is phenomenal. Hoping to get some of that rolling pretty soon. So content going a different direction. I am itching to share the M16A1, like a legit battlefield pickup M16A1 that we're going to Form 2 and restore it to its former glory. And actually, I need to go by Quarter Horse Arms and pick up the other one, the what are they calling that? The AR-15A1, which is, you know, the M16A1 on an AR-15 receiver, so that you don't have to deal with this select fire post sample stuff. So I'm really excited about showing those off and diving into that. Trying to think so many different directions. I've been editing like a madman on the camping side of the house with some more backpacking gear review stuff that relates to Philmont Scout Ranch and the treks that folks go out and do there every summer. So some like massive hour-long gear review videos that take 20 hours plus of editing. So yeah, I think you really said it best, Ghost, that 18 things on the plate already. So I'm going so many different directions. Seriously, just watch Gear Report. Who knows what squirrel is going to happen next and grab my attention, and what new thing is going to show up. So who knows? I don't even know.
If you guys are making the SHOT Show, or you're at NRA, they happen to be there, or USCCA, or the outdoor show, if you see one of these guys that are wearing a Gear Report shirt or whatever,
give us money.
Have a good time, and go up and yourself to them. They're also, they're just awesome people. Some of the funniest guys you're ever going to be around. And when you get everyone together, it's a madhouse. It's an absolute animal house that you couldn't have more fun than a better group of guys. So yeah, awesome, Jeff. G, I want you to bring you in real quick and talk about some projects. Where can people find you, and what do you have going on right now?
First off, thanks for the invite, and I know I covered a lot of stuff tonight, so we're going to have a transcript available for $5. Now you can PayPal that over, and I'll have everything that I've gone over in detail with links. You're welcome.
Thanks, and the check's still in the mail, buddy. Check is still in the mail. Clover, do you have anything you want to talk about Gear Report real quick? And yes or no, please tell us where we can find you and what projects you have going on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, the NRA cookout that we did. Can you imagine?
Oh, good.
As awesome as the cookout was at NRA, can you imagine if the Gear Report guys were there too?
Oh, nightmare.
I got a feeling Indianapolis PD might have had to show up to that. I mean, yeah, as far as me, clovertech.com, I'm everywhere, so that's the easiest way to find me, including, over on gearreport.com, of course. As far as current stuff going on, the biggie right now is the Wednesday night premieres, Wednesday night, 8 Eastern on YouTube. You get the Next Generation show, talking to the youth shooting sports competitors. It's been going on, some really good conversations out there. And if you're not into the YouTube side, watching that in Premiere and chatting and all of that, you can pick that up on Wednesdays on any of the other video platforms, podcast platforms, that sort of thing. So good show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was fun. And like I said, guys, go check out Gear Report. It's a phenomenal website that they can get everything that you could possibly want to do outdoors. They've got someone that's probably got a review on it. If you're looking to get things, whether it's at Sportsman's Guide or wherever you're looking to buy your outdoor stuff, make sure before you go buy it, go over to gearreport.com and I put the link out there. I mean, 1,000 times we flooded it with it. So if you can't find it, then maybe you shouldn't be around a computer, but go check them out and find all that stuff out there. They're good people. They work hard. I'm proud and honored to be part of the team in what little small way that I am. But thanks to these guys for always kind of sticking by me and allowing me to do what I do as well. So if you're watching this in replay or listening to it in replay on podcast form and you have any questions for the Gear Report team or Budget or G or Clover, please use a comment section below. We'd love to hear or see some questions. If you have any questions you want to email, you can always email them to the live. Oh, geez, the live. My God. The ARM podcast at gmail.com. You can text them to 530-364-4678. And we'll get back to you as well. So, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week on the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. Semper Fi.